The reason my classroom looks like it does is because learning is life and is part of life. It's not just sit behind that desk and you copy this all down. That it is active, they are engaged. Our piano, I know it seems odd, but at Christmas time my students could play jingle bells, and one day I started singing along, but I changed the tune to Area and Perimeter, singing the song of Area and Perimeter, and the kids went with it. And it's a way now, they've got that song stuck in their brain, so they will always remember Area and Perimeter. I tell my students that there is art in math and science. When we were studying Area and Perimeter, we did Piet Mondrian art, and so I had the children create their own Piet Mondrian art using the red, yellow, and the blue, the primary colors, for each of their particular sections. And once they did that, they had to then go back and they had to solve area and perimeter for all the reds, solve area and perimeter for all the yellow, solve area and perimeter for all of the blue. And then at the end, they had to add those all together. So I was able to take and give them an art piece that they created, so the engagement and interest is very high at that point. And then their worksheet came from that piece that they created. So each one was individualized, and it met their personal needs. Ollie was my daughter's, and she went off into the Air Force, and so Ollie is now mine. And I love him more than she probably ever did. And so I was teaching first grade at the time when I first brought him into my classroom, and I brought him in about a month or so after school started, once we had the routine set, and then I brought him in. Prior to that, I had a first grade boy that cried every day at the door with his mom. It was just the anxiety and the stress of coming into this classroom was too much. And so the day Ollie arrived was the first day he didn't cry. Thereafter, every single day, he never cried again. So if bringing Ollie brings a little bit of peace to the students in my classroom during the day, I'm going to take the effort, put him in my pouch, drive him here, and bring him to the classroom to make the children's world just a little bit better while they're here.
Oh, hi, Ollie. Hi, he's sniffing you.
They all want to connect with him. And so when he hops near them, they want to touch him. Oftentimes I tell them, if he comes to you, you're welcome to go ahead and pet him. And they need breaks, they need brain breaks. And so at that moment, they pet him and they move on. And our relationship with one another and in the class and knowing the rules and the routines, they have that leeway because they know I trust that they're going to get right back to work.
My beautiful wife Charlotte and I decided that it was time to create a little charity of our very own called the 100 Telescope Project. And that is derived from one of the adventures of the character in one of my children's books named Evie. She creates a similar project, and the idea is to put 100 telescopes like this one into elementary through high schools so that thousands and thousands of children will be able, often for the first time, to look through an eyepiece and see some of the incredible wonders that live up in the sky.
Next Tuesday evening, Stanton-Weirsdale's new telescope will get its first significant use at the school's Sauce and Science Night.
To actually talk about stuff in class, even to use this instrument with the solar filter for safety that comes with it, even that is not the same as seeing what's up there in the night sky on a clear night in the winter in Florida. And so that's the idea, and I'll see if a couple of real-life astronomers can come out here and be involved in helping kids look through several telescopes, not just this one, and enjoy the night sky with Mom and Dad.
And then I became math teacher, but also a deaf and hard of hearing teacher together. And then I stopped and just became a math teacher. If a deaf student needs to be in a regular math classroom, I'm the first teacher they put him in, because I can communicate for myself as well as using our talented interpreters. I can still deliver instruction direct or answer questions more directly and know how it needs to be presented for those kids to learn. A lot of times I'll stand up, I'm teaching, I'm talking with a student, I'm working on the ground with kids, and I start to sign for myself, especially when they ask me to re-explain something. Then I really start to sign to myself, finding another way to explain the topic or the situation or the problem. And I put it on my hands a lot. They don't realize it, I don't realize it. It just happens. It's natural for me. My impact is a lot larger, and I do feel it, that there are more kids coming to me. Even kids I don't even have in class, they come in for help before school or after school for math. So it's just the impact I can make within Forest High School, within Marion County Public Schools, is larger. I teach Algebra 1, and I teach Plato credit recovery for at-risk seniors. Have a little faith in yourself. I know it's an ugly number, but not everything can be as cute as you guys. Okay?
Thank you. That was very nice.
A lot of them start their senior year. They could be half a credit behind, or they could be multiple credits behind. And to see them check off a half a credit at a time, and they begin to feel better about, I am going to graduate. I am going to walk across this stage. I am going to earn that diploma. A lot of times we take a high school diploma for granted, but I get to see those students that are really having to work to earn it. It's not, I know I'm going to graduate high school. It's, I've got some work to do, and to actually see them get it is amazing. When it comes to my seniors, when they get that point that they have earned their diploma, that means a lot to me, that I get to watch them walk across that stage. This year with freshmen, most of them have struggled in math until they've gotten here, and to see them actually want to do math, to see them get some of these concepts, to understand, to improve their test scores, and to see that excitement, that means everything.
With the ECH Academy, or the Early Childhood Development Academy at MTI, even the students learn a thing or two by role-playing as 5-year-olds that they will teach one day.
We were teaching a lesson to preschoolers, in particular, or kindergarten, whatever the person chose, and we're practicing if we were to teach a class and teach little kids how to do an art project.
Don't touch it.
Take anything yet. No.
Don't touching.
No touching yet. We need to tell them how to have manners, share, be creative, be clean, keep their mess in their area.
When pursuing this career opportunity, what types of jobs might a person consider when making a decision to be a part of the Early Childhood Development Academy?
I chose this because I like working with young children, and I could see myself being a preschool teacher or running my own daycare. And I heard here that you can get college credits, so when you go in college you can start early or finish later. You can earn the ECPC or the CDA. They're both kind of the same. One, you basically get the gist of what we do here and you get certification, so right out of high school you can become like a preschool teacher, such as like an assistant, or you can have your own daycare center with your certification depending on how many kids you can have. I chose this academy because I really want to pursue this career.